Now we are ready. Oi, pessoal, tudo bom? A gente está aqui hoje com a convidada mais especial, a Bonnie Thunders. Acho que todo mundo conhece ela, não tem muito o que apresentar, mas de qualquer forma a gente vai apresentar ela, todo mundo vai saber um pouquinho mais, porque eu sei que tem gente que não conhece ainda, né, pessoas mais novas, pode ser que não conheçam. E eu vou pedir para ela se apresentar e a gente vai começar a conversa. E eu trouxe aqui as perguntas que vocês me mandaram no Instagram. E aí a gente vai começar a conversa. Primeiro, a conversa vai ser toda em inglês, né? Porque ela não fala português. Mas, posteriormente, eu quero colocar as legendas e a gente pode ter acesso a esse conteúdo em português, em espanhol ou o que quer que seja. Eu vou só checar aqui se a live está funcionando direitinho. Se tiver alguém online já assistindo, me dá um alô, que aí eu vou ver se está tudo certinho. Beleza? Então, welcome, Bonnie Thunders. We are here to talk to you about roller derby life and everything. And I would like you to introduce yourself, your name, derby name, pronouns, and everything. And how did you start roller derby?
All right. Well, hi, everybody, and thanks, Naclara, for hosting this and getting us together. My name is Bonnie Thunders. My pronouns are she and they, and I play for Rose City Rollers and also for the Heartless Heathers, which is my home team here in Portland, Oregon. And how did I start playing roller derby? Well, when I moved to New York City after college, when I was 21 years old, I was looking for some sort of sport that I wanted to do. I was coming out of college. I did synchronized figure skating. I was an ice skater, and I wanted to do a skating sport, and they didn't really have synchronized figure skating where I was, and so I was out at like a event, and there was like roller derby outside, a demo outdoors, and I was like, wow, that looks really fun. And so then the league tryouts were coming up, and I tried out for Gotham Roller Derby in 2006, and I'm still here today playing roller derby.
But did you already knew how to skate?
I knew how to ice skate, and I had roller skated, as a kid when I would go to the roller rink. And I think a lot of things transferred, but yeah, so I knew how to skate pretty well when I started.
And now you are in Rose City, right? And how was for you to change from one team to another? How was the how you get used to a new mentality? What changed for you?
Yeah, the transfer from Gotham to Rose was really hard, because not only are you changing teams, but you're changing your life, because you're changing. A lot of times when you change a new team, you move to a new place and you're getting used to a new city, new people, and then also the team. Team dynamics are different everywhere. Team culture is different everywhere, and then also with Gotham, at that time we played a very defensive game. I don't know if the video went out.
No, I'm here.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay,
I was just playing around with my video.
Okay, no worries. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't lose you. But yeah, so I, coming from Gotham, who was a really defensive, focused team, and then going to Rose City, who played a lot of offense, I think that was a huge challenge for me, and just something that took time to get used to, because I was not really used to having a team play so much offense. So that was, for me, one of the biggest adjustments I had to make.
Nice. And but when you moved, it was because of roller derby or life? Just
it was more because of life. Me and OMG wanted to move to somewhere that was a little less busy than New York City, and we really liked Portland. We liked that it is so green, and there's a lot of hiking and beautiful nature really close by, and we also wanted to keep playing derby, so it was a really good derby team also, so that just made it an easy decision to want to move here.
Yeah, nice. And there is a question here: if do you roller skate every day? Do you use it to roller skate alone or only with the team?
I don't roller skate every day. I only really roller skate with the team for practice, whether it's uh, yeah, we have 3 practices a week, so 2 of them are like a skills focused or like a team focused practice, and then we have 1 scrimmage a week. And then I also will do like off skates training, weight training, workout training. But I don't really I don't do a lot of street skating or park skating consistently. Sometimes I do. I enjoy it, but it's not something that I do every week.
And you have the home team practice and the travel team too, right?
So home team practice, we only do for part of the year. So we practice with home teams from about January to June. And so, yeah, at that time, it's actually very intense and add some extra practices in there. And then sometimes there's a little bit of like my home team practice is the same day as our gym day for travel team. So it gets a little bit chaotic and very busy at that time.
And the gym practices are with the team, everybody together at the same
Yeah,
day?
we have a gym practice where everybody works out together, and we have a trainer that like programs our workouts.
Oh, nice. And the practices, the skating practices with the team, how is the dynamic? Like, do you practice like jammers and blockers, then you practice drills, strategies? How does it work for you as a travel team or home team? Is there a difference in the practice?
Yeah, the practices are pretty similar for travel and home teams, and depending on the time of the season that we're in, we'll sometimes like earlier in the season we'll do what we call jammer time and blocker time, where like jammers go off together. We work on some jammer specific skills, like footwork or techniques that we might use against blockers, and then we'll come together and then we'll like work on those skills together. And then blockers will work on a complementary skill as well. And then for the rest of practice time, it's usually like working on our formations and then working on scenarios, game scenarios, what might be happening, like different plays, power jams, how to focus on when when the other jammer gets out first and you need to get your jammer out. So working on really specific game scenarios.
Oh, nice. And does the players themselves that coach each other, or do you have a specific person that stays every practices with you, or for example, home team is in a way, travel team in another? How does it work in coaching?
Yeah, for coaching, I think most Rose City teams, including travel teams and home teams, they have what we call a strategy committee. And that committee, it can be made up of coaches and like track coaches or managers and skaters. And those are the people who maybe make like a team trajectory for the season about what practices are going to look like. And those will also be the people to plan and lead practice. So for travel team, we have a mix of coach, like of manager coaches that lead the practice and skaters. So it's not just one or the other.
Oh, I see. And are you use it to coach, or in Rose City, for example, you're just a player and just go and practice, or do you coach too? And if it is different in Gotham, how it was?
Yeah. So at Gotham, when I was there, because things might have changed since then because it was a long time ago now,
Yeah.
10 years actually. But I used to, as a captain, the captains and the coaches led practice at the time. So when I was with Gotham, I did coach a lot and led the practices with other captains and with our coaches. But at Rose, I was on strategy committee for some years, and now I am a captain. But even though I'm a captain, I'm not actually I'm not leading practices anymore because I'm not on the strategy committee. So I do some other things, and yeah, I have focused a little less on coaching and a little bit more on some of the other elements of like I help to keep our team finances in order and look at our fundraising and kind of like more manage on the back end of things. And then some of our other captains are in the strategy committee and they focus on the coaching end.
Okay, nice. And what do you say for a coach? How how do you identify a good coach? What they need to do to be a good coach? Like some advice for our coaches here in Brazil?
Yeah, I would say some advice for coaches would be like to work with skaters, finding out what things that they think that they need work on, and have like a collaborative approach to coaching. I think that's really been a really great thing about Rose City is that there's a lot of collaboration with the skaters, so that it's not just like a coach kind of doing things that maybe the skaters what you want. Skaters are the ones who are playing, and so it's good to have like the outside view and then have the inside view and try to figure out where those things align and what things each person thinks the team needs to work on. And I think too, as a coach, like the more that you can do to learn to like skate is really great. It's very helpful when coaches can also like be skaters because they have a different perspective as well. So I think it's all like a really I don't know, you can get great coaching from people who don't have the skating experience too. They just have such a different perspective. So I just love that the coaches can be so varied, and they bring like somebody who maybe was, I don't know, like played a different sport might have such a different perspective on derby that they can bring. So I also love to see like coaches that can bring their background and their experience from whatever they did before to derby. But I think coaching, like I love having a variety of coaches because then it's like different people learn best from different people. I know like the way I coach might not connect with certain people, and then the way other people coach, I can see when we do boot camps, a lot of the times I can see like I'll say something and I can see a skater who's like not quite getting it, and then someone else will try to explain it, and like for whatever reason it just connects better with different people. So I think it's great to have a variety of voices in coaching as well.
Yeah, and about for example, for the team strategies, do you have like a meeting where everyone talks, like this committee, and decides the strategies for the rest of the year? Or is it like a more conversation with the athletes or analyzing the previous games? How do you set up the strategies you are going to create for the year?
So the strategy committee, they do meet and they talk a lot about that. But then we will also have some brainstorming sessions with the whole team. And during those brainstorming sessions, we'll break off into groups, and each group will create a new strategy, whether it's like a jam start strategy or a mid jam strategy, or just like maybe they identify something we're struggling with in games, and they're like, I think we need to work on this thing. I want to come up with a new technique or a new strategy to do this. And then everybody brings those, we break into groups, they kind of discuss and come up with the new strategy. And then we bring those to the team. And then the strategy committee figures out which of those things seem like they would work best. And then we start practicing them. And we have a couple new jam starts and new mid jam plays that we came up with in using that process, like just about 2 months ago. So it's fun to kind of evolve and change strategies.
So we are going to see new things during the champs.
I think so. Yep.
Are you excited for champs? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm very excited for champs. I feel ready. I feel like I'm glad that the team, we went to Denver and played at Thin Air Throwdown, and we have a little bit of time to kind of fine tune a few things, but I feel pretty ready, and I don't know if I want champs to be tomorrow, but I think I'm ready for them to be here. And it's going to be really fun having it in our own town, having all of our fans there and our league to support, and I'm just excited about all of that like energy that's going to infiltrate Portland very soon.
And do you feel like a pressure because Rose City is now the best team in the world. It's been like winning like forever now. And do you feel like the other teams are like I think they're really eager to win from Rose City. And how do you deal with that, with the pressure? Because I think we all saw like Gotham versus Rose in the past, and how nervous we were always like watching, and the close game. And how do you deal with the pressure, like that close score, like almost tie, and how to keep your mind in the game so you don't lose yourself?
I think there's a couple of things from what you said I have thoughts on. So, one thing that's really exciting is like to see teams getting like, like some of our scores have been closer with teams as the years have gone on. And I think, I don't know, that I think is exciting. I think that creates more, that gives the team like a lot more energy to keep coming up with new strategies, figuring out what else we need to work on. It keeps us motivated. So I'm really excited like that we had really hard. I mean, even when the score isn't very close, the game is still hard, I find. So, I don't know if the score always reflects how hard a game is, to be honest. But yeah, like having a little bit closer scores has given like a lot of motivation for the team to really like fine tune and kind of close in on what we need to do to win the championship. And then, some things we do, I think, at practice to help us like be ready for close games is that we practice scenarios where the game is close. It's end game scenarios. It's like you're down by 10 points, you're down by 20 points, there's 3 minutes left, there's 5 minutes left. And we practice like staying in that strong mindset and winning those moments. So that way, when it happens in a game, it's not something you've never done before. There's nothing worse than getting into a game and being in a situation you've never experienced. So, like setting those up in practice and mimicking those scenarios is really important to be able to like have yourself mentally and physically ready to have those happen in real life.
Nice. And is there anything else you do to keep your like mentally fit for the games? Not only like during practices, but like studying, or I don't know, meditation or anything like that?
Yeah, I do visualization about how the game's going to go, and visualizing like success and visualizing moments. I think other things to keep focused are, I do watch footage because I think that's really important. um, I, I I like to balance the footage between like moments of success and watching moments, like I don't want to watch too much of not doing well, because then that can put you in a mindset that like you can't do it. So you have to balance that. You want to have confidence, but you don't want to have too much confidence. You want to know the things that you need to work on. So I tend to try to watch games that are not my games. So watch opponents against other people so that I can not focus on myself, but focus on them easier. And I think the other thing is just like staying centered, staying focused on my team, and not really focusing on maybe what other teams, what people are saying, not focusing much on like, speculation of who's going to win or who's doing better. And just really focusing on like the 22 people on my team in those moments, especially like as we gear into like getting within a month of champs. I'm really like connecting with my team and trying to like keep my eyes right in that a group of 22 and not worrying too much about what anyone else might be saying.
And what you said about like when you are gearing up for a game or everything, what is your what do you usually do when you are in a pre-game situation? Like you like to focus on like just putting your gear or talking, listen to music. How do you prepare in the day, like previously to the game?
So it's going to be a little different for this tournament because everyone will be staying at home because we're in our own town. So that'll be good because I'll have my own bed to sleep in. I'll have my own dogs to hang out with. And so Usually on game day, though, I will, food, I think for everybody can be like a lot of your game day prep to make sure that you're eating the right, the right meals that are going to keep you fueled and keep you feeling good. So I'm pretty much kind of like centering my activities for the day about when I'm going to eat because I need to make sure I personally have, like if I don't eat enough in that day, I can feel really bad for the game and not feel like I have energy. So I have to kind of, if the game is really early, I need to wake up at a certain time to eat at the right time to be like fueled for the game. So my day kind of revolves a bit around the times I'm going to eat. Whoops, something just fell over there. The times I'm going to eat and when I'm going to have that fuel ready. So I will wake up, I'll have my breakfast. I try to do some movement as well. I don't like to just sit and wait for the game all day long. So especially if I'm at home, like today we have a game later. It's not the championship game, but I've, still kind of trying to stay in the zone. And I spent a couple of hours like getting out of the house and I picked up some people from the airport for the Fuego game tonight. But yeah, just doing something that is not derby related to kind of bring my mind, just like center myself so that I'm not too focused. If I were to sit all day and focus about the game in the evening, that would not go well for me. I need to be able to clear my head and like just keep myself calm and a little bit distracted. So I tend to do some other things during a game. If I'm traveling, I might take a walk. I might go for a short hike, something like that just kind of gets my mind off of the game because I don't want to be, for me, I don't want to be too focused on the game.
And when you arrive in the venue, for example, what do you generally do? Are you more quiet? Do you prefer be talking to people?
Yeah, I'm pretty talkative. I think it also depends on what I feel like I need to bring to the team that day. If I see that the team seems really like a little bit too quiet and and I'm feeling like they need some energy, then I might be more like, yeah, let's go, let's get this, right? But if the team seems pretty fired up, then I'll kind of stay more focused. So I kind of read what the team is like, what the vibe is like with the team, and try to kind of bring the energy that isn't present. And I don't have like a set playlist that I listen to before games or any like my only rituals I think are like the order in which I put my gear on is like basically like, I gotta put my knee pads on, then my skates, then my elbow pads. I don't tighten my elbow pads until after the warm up. I don't know if that's something that started happening more recently. And yeah, and then helmet and wrist guards and yeah, just go.
Is it more like a superstition or just a habit?
I think it's more of a habit because in that time where I'm getting ready, that's where I'm kind of like keeping myself centered and like, I don't know. For me, I like to do it in a certain order. It kind of is like, okay, I like to take the time I need to get my gear on and not feel rushed. And so like doing it habitually, it feels good.
And do you still feel a bit nervous or anxious when you're going to play a game, or it's more like fun and chill?
Yeah, I think I always feel a bit nervous before games. I think like a little bit of nerves just like shows that you're prepared and ready to go. Yeah, I definitely still get a little bit nervous, but it's not like it's a nervousness that's just like present, but it's not a nervous, like some people have nervousness where they are like they can't focus, they can't, that it's like it's distracting them from what they need to do. My nervousness is just there, it's present. It's just like a little jitter, a little like maybe my hands are a little shaky. But yeah, it's a welcome presence.
Nice. And you said before that you sometimes will watch footage to analyze and everything and to see maybe what you can do better. And nowadays, I think for most of us, the roller players, we know you as a bigger, one of the biggest of all times. And do you still feel that you have a lot to learn? How do you think you can like improve yourself at this point?
Yeah, I think I think I can still improve. I mean, also the longer I play, the longer people know how I play. So then I need to keep changing maybe things up a little bit so that if you blocked me earlier this year, I might come with something that you're not expecting. So I definitely think adjusting and whatnot is really important. So yeah, so the things that I focus on for getting better are just like thinking about the moments where I know I'm getting stuck, where I know a blocker is beating me, thinking about like what I can do different in that moment and then practicing that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not changing my style significantly. I'm not all of a sudden gonna like, I don't know, start jumping the apex every time I come around the track. Like there's some things about me that are gonna be the things that they are, but I'm just thinking about in moments what I can do differently in moments to surprise blockers.
Nice. And this you practice like while you are in your team practice. For example, you try to adjust something and to come up with new solutions for what you already do. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. There's like a moment I'm not going to share it because I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, keep it to yourself. Just the mindset itself.
Yeah. There's a moment that I had been getting beat by blockers a lot, and I didn't have like a solution for that. So I tried a few different things in practice in those moments, and honestly, in the last few practices, I did those things without thinking, and so that's kind of what I'm trying to do at the moment, right? Is just like no significant changes, nothing like big, but it's just like that moment when I'm getting beat, what can I do to like either trick that blocker or move a little quicker than that blocker so that they're not beating me in that moment.
Nice. Yeah, because what I feel it's like when roller derby, I think it started to change a while ago for more athletic, and I think you very responsible for that because people wanted to beat Gotham at the time and to improve their game, and before I think it was harder for blockers for some reasons, and some jammers really step up at that time. I think they were a big challenge, and now I see the blockers are getting like more and more prepared to different situations and different jammers. And I think they give you a hard time now, not only you, but every jammer now is like suffering a lot. But it's nice to see how you come up with new moves, new plays, and to keep this game like improving and improving. And about like improving, you play, I think for now, you are still there in the Team USA. And how is it different from your home team or travel team practice?
Yeah. So, well, I think that we're going to be hearing soon about who made Team USA. But in the previous years, like I think this is probably the same for most of the, whether it's a borderless team or whether it's like the teams coming together for World Cup, is that you have like pretty minimal practice time with those people. So I think that it's like when you come together, you're just really focused on like how can I work with people that I don't skate with ever. And like for a lot of people, we might know like how those people skate because we've seen them skate or skated against them, and so we have some idea of how they might skate. But yeah, it's an adjustment. And I know like they've announced with Team USA that they're expecting they're going to have like multiple practices before the World Cup. So the team will be able to practice together quite a bit, I think, or maybe like 3 times. So that's like, that's a good amount. But it's always a challenge of like bringing people together who don't usually skate together, and like building off of existing partnerships is always good. But it's really fun to see like the chemistry that exists between people who don't skate together ever, and then sometimes people just like work so well together. And I find that sometimes with offense too. It's like people that I don't get offense from on my home team, but then we just like I don't know, something clicks and we can just work really well together. So that's always fun to see.
And is there something specific that you do to make this integration with the team, like the Team USA, where everybody comes from different scenarios?
Yeah, I think the most important thing I've found that I bring is just like an openness to adjust the way that I play and like adjust it to be what the team needs. Like, you know, if everybody came to a team and said, I play this way and I'm unwilling to play any other way, then like it would be hard. So I think everyone coming in and, you know, just being willing to to adjust how you're used to skating and being as flexible as possible is really important. And then you'll be able to align around some things that really work well, and find those things that maybe some things are things that you're used to and that works for other people too. But yeah, I think the flexibility, and the compromise is really important in those teams.
And do you think that, like Team USA, when you are playing there and everyone, do you feel there is a feeling that like this is my team now at this moment at least? Because sometimes we can feel like people are still like feeling apart from each other. Like I'm from like Rose City, Gotham, Atlanta, or anything, and they are not really open to feel like a team in the Team USA, or do you like let go of these things and integrate in a good way, like instantly? I don't know.
Yeah. I think that the timing of the World Cup is always important because, like, say the World Cup was happening, I don't know, this summer, I think it would be really hard to let like guard down for people because we're preparing to also play in champs, right?
Yeah.
And so some skaters are going to put like USA ahead of their home teams. Other skaters are going to like hold things back about their home teams because they don't want to share. But the way that it's timed is good because it will be after champs. There isn't champs in 2025. The champs won't be till 2026. So I think it gives people an opportunity to just to put their guard down a little bit, maybe share. I mean, honestly, I think that happens a lot. We end up sharing strategies from our teams. You learn a lot of insight from the teams when that happens. And I think that sharing is like, is honestly like in some ways part of like how other teams grow because we're all coming together. We're, you know, learning how each other play and then taking some of those things back to our own leagues and seeing like what can we use from that, or what works for us, what doesn't work for us.
Nice. And what about like the gear you use, like your skates? Do you have like a really favorite one, or do you get along easily with any setup, or are you like attached to something? How do you like your skates?
Yeah, for a long time I was really like, I don't know if I guess I was like I guess maybe some of it was a bit superstitious where I was like I was like, I can't change anything. Oh my God, if I change something, I'm not going to be familiar with it. But I've become a little more flexible the longer I've skated. But I still only really skate with one certain set of skates that like I wear. Brooklyn Skate Company skates, which we made for a while. Me and OMG had a company, Brooklyn Skate Company, and they're made by an ice skate boot maker. And my skates are, I've had my skates since 2016 or 17. And I had them rebuilt once, but they're still doing great. And I think it's almost time for a new pair, but but I really, I really love them. I have roll line plates and I have roller bones, turbos, wheels, and like I don't think I would switch any of those things. But if I had to put on a new set of all of those things, I would feel confident because like those are all familiar to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean I did actually at RollerCon I played in the Bont game.
Yeah.
And I wore Aaron Jackson's skates. And I did okay. I think I played against you,
Yeah.
right? Um,
In the last jam, we were both
yeah.
gamers. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, beside
Yes.
Bon Thunder.
Oh my god, that was like, I don't know. I think that was kind of a fun, good thing for me to be like, just relax. It's fine. You're gonna be fine. And honestly, like her skates felt different. She definitely has like a lot looser trucks than I do, and like different. They were adjusted differently, but it was cool to like skate in someone else's totally different setup and be like, oh wow, everything is actually okay. So yeah,
Yeah, it's a good experience. And it was like a really chill game. It was not like a big
yeah,
competition. You don't have like your high performance or anything. So
right.
it's good to have in these moments a chance to experiment about other
Yes,
things. So do
yes.
you prefer like harder boots or and about like the wheels? Do you prefer they more grippy or like when they sleep a little bit more? How do you like it?
Yeah. My like boots they're leather, so they're not like super stiff, but they are a little bit stiffer than like some leather, and they're like they're made from a leather they use in ice skates, which is thicker. So the thicker leather is going to be a little bit stiffer. And then for the wheels, I don't like to slip really. I do like, but I don't, I wear like mid, we're 94 wheels, 94A, and those wheels are like, I skate on sport court. So if I'm on a concrete that's a little bit slipperier, I might go to a 92. So I do like, I don't like slipping when I'm on my speed lap. I don't want to feel like I'm sliding out on my speed lap. So
Yeah, because on Rose City it's a bit slippery the floor, right?
I don't think so, but I know like if people don't aren't used to skating on sport court, then they have like a bit of an adjustment because it's definitely different than skating on like concrete.
Nice.
Yeah.
And people are asking here if you have notion that you are a big inspiration for us in Brazil. Like, I feel like between the names of roller derby, for us it's like comparing to soccer or football. I don't know. It's
Mhm.
like Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo. When you want to say, "Oh, you are very good," you're like Bonnie Thunders. Do you have this idea that people around the world really look up to you like as an inspiration, like like they say the goat, the greatest of all time? How do you feel about it?
I feel, I mean, that makes me feel really nice, and like I love that I can inspire people because uh yeah, I don't know, I want to make people happy and excited about roller derby, and I'm the kind of person that uh like yeah, I want others to be inspired by what we do. And I think derby is so like special in that way because you know, I love football also, and I go watch the Thorns, our team here, play. I love to go watch them, and um it's like derby, it's yeah, I don't get to meet those people. You know what I mean? I like
Yeah.
can't go to a tournament and meet those people, and I think that's why derby is like so special because we can meet the people that inspire us, and maybe not as easily if you're in Brazil or another country, but still like the opportunity is there in a very different way, and so I think that's really special about roller derby.
Yeah, even with if we are like very distant, I think people are more approachable. You can like send them a message in Instagram and they generally answer, and it's not a big deal because I think people, as roller derby is not so famous like worldwide, like it's a a big community, but like a niche. So I think everybody is very open because we do it for love, like
Yeah.
we do because we really like it, not because we earn lots of money. The opposite. Generally, we spend a lot of money with that. So I think everybody is really open, and this was a really good experience at RollerCon. I saw a lot of idols there, and they are just normal people, like
Yeah.
very, very happy and wanting to play with everyone. And about like your journey in roller derby, do you see yourself like retiring in some while, or like you don't think about it?
I think about it.
Oh no. Don't
I
tell
do.
me. I
No,
don't.
yes, I hear it. No, I do. I mean, yeah, I think about it. I don't know. Yeah, it, I played derby for almost 20 years. It's a long time to, it's a long time for that to be the center of your universe.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of interests, so it's really hard because, I don't, yeah, derby is kind of still the center of my universe. Yeah, I just I do want to spend time in my life doing some other things, and so it's just really hard because I still love it and I still enjoy it. I still have fun. I still am good at it. I still want to play. So yeah, I don't think I'll play forever, but I'm very happy to continue to play. And like I may not. I don't know that I'll ever fully retire from derby because we have great home teams here, and I can keep skating in that way. But yeah, it's a long time to have it be the center of everything, and so I think it is really hard. I don't. In some ways, it would be awesome if it was a professional, if there was a professional option, because then you could get paid to do
Yeah.
it and keep it the center of your universe. But that's not the world we live in. So for now, we have to yeah, also think about what else we love, and what else we want to spend our time doing. And it's hard. There's a lot of really amazing things that people can spend their time doing in the world.
Yeah.
And yeah, and derby is one of them. But also, yeah, there's just I have a lot of interests, and it's hard. My time is split. Yeah, yeah,
And
but
roller derby takes a lot of time, right?
yeah, it
And you
does. It
have the
does take
store too?
the what?
The store, Five
Yeah,
Stripe.
yep. We do have the store, and I have another job also. So yeah,
How you have
so
to give us a boot camp how to
uh,
to do it
how to
all.
do it all. Yeah, yeah, I could do that. Yeah, but yeah, OMG runs the store, and I have another job. I work in I work at a nonprofit that does sustainable seafood work. We do trying to improve the way that fish is caught
Mm.
to better help the environment and better serve the people that use the fish and the people that fish the fish. So it's a pretty cool organization, but yeah, I still do love roller derby through all of it.
And I've seen I don't know how it's going, but that documentary about rollercon, if I'm not wrong, and you appear in a teaser, like the veteran. Do you know that?
Yeah. The roller derby movie that was
Yeah,
trying to get pitched. Yeah, I don't
yeah.
know what the update on that is right now. I haven't seen anything new, but yes, I did help out the director of that film to help act in that. I mean, it wasn't really acting; it was just kind of like being yourself. But yeah, to pitch the idea. So I don't know. It hasn't gone anywhere yet, but maybe it will.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know if I'm
saw.
gonna switch to be an actor though. I don't think. I think that I was just helping for that one thing.
It is not one of your interests.
No, no.
Yeah, I
No.
saw that teaser, and you were talking like as the veteran from talking to the newer skater,
Yeah.
and you were talking like as, oh, roller derby is just another thing, and like um don't give him much attention to that. Like I just play, and I was kind of sad.
Well,
What?
so I did embellish. I don't believe those things fully.
Okay.
It was that was like I was act. It was I was acting. So the goal was to be yourself and not have to remember, not memorize lines, but I did have to play a part, and then I could kind of have creativity over what I said. So I don't I don't believe what I said as that character.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, so don't worry. No,
Okay,
I'm
and
not like that.
I kind of went to RollerCon after I saw that, because you are like an idol for me, someone I look up, and I saw that like, oh, she looks like not liking that much anymore, and I saw myself a little bit because I play like for
Mm.
12 years, and I was in a bad moment of motivation, And then I thought like, oh my God, if she retires, and I will never see her play.
Oh
And
no.
then I don't know, something changed in my mind, and I think I might go to RollerCon. And then I started doing it all to go, and it was a great experience. It excited me a lot to keep playing and keeping motivating myself. And I felt that it was not like you telling that, because I see like you like to play and you keep playing forever, but something like changed in my mind, and it in somehow it helped me to find a new motivation.
Yeah.
I just like
Yeah,
it to know.
I think it's important to find like fun and like, practices are fun, games are fun, but like, I don't know, RollerCon is special in that way because, we're all there and literally like, I mean, at least for me, I'm like, I don't, it literally doesn't matter if we win this game or we don't win this game. Like the point is really to like find joy. And I think, you can get caught up in like all of the volunteer work you have to do to keep your team going and all of the training you have to do to like keep up with the game, and like it can be hard to remember that like if you're not having fun, then why we're not getting paid. So if we're not having fun, then why are we continuing to do it? So yeah, having experiences like RollerCon or I don't know, traveling with your team and other things where you can just really have fun.
Yeah, people are saying here in the chat that thanks God she didn't believe that, like what you were saying in the
Yeah, we
yeah.
don't want you to retire.
Yeah, you can retire someday.
Yeah,
We
yeah, we all
understand.
will. We all probably will
Yeah, one day we will all
one
die
day.
and retire for good. But people here really, as I told you, people really admire you. And there are some questions about if you want to go to Brazil, if you would go to Brazil to give a boot camp. I know you came like in 2013. I was there,
Yeah.
like my first boot camp
Oh, cool.
everywhere. But did you look up for giving more boot camps, or you just it's not something you are looking to do right now?
Yeah, I stopped doing a lot of boot camps as life became busier, and for a little while, I also did boot camps because I needed work, and so it helped to supplement my income and everything. Because and then now that I have like a different job and I have 8 chickens and 2 cats and 2 dogs, it gets harder to travel. But I'm not opposed to coming to Brazil for a boot camp. So, and I did. I mean, well, when we went the last time, Brazilian Nut, who was my
Yeah.
teammate with Gotham for a long time and my friend, she was she organized helped to organize everything, and so that was like a super fun adventure because we got to go together. And I always love to travel. Like I love to travel outside of the country and go to new places. So yeah, I would come back to Brazil for sure. I was only there for a short time. I didn't see very much. There's so much that I want to
Yeah.
see in that country. So yeah,
Yeah, it's a big country.
huge
Yeah.
country.
And we have new questions here, like um how do you find motivation to get out of a wall that you are stuck for a bit more? I know that you said like that you adjust when you see you are getting stuck for in some kind of blockers, but like in that moment when you feel you are stuck, how do you motivate yourself to get out of it?
Yeah, I think. I mean, well, ultimately, if I get really stuck in a wall, my goal is like, okay, how can I be most effective to my blockers right now? So like, um, that I think I shift my motivation shifts to be like, how can I be best use to my team? So in that moment, what if the other jammer's gotten out and is coming through? Where can I place myself that helps my team play defense better? So I try not to think about being stuck and try to think more about I will be out of this, right? Like put your mindset more on the positive. That like, yeah, I can get out of this. I can do this. And I also honestly try not to think that much and just do. So yeah, I guess also I've just accepted that like if you're a jammer these days, you're going to be stuck behind walls like that, and you just kind of have to accept it and know it.
And how do you say is your style? Do you are more like how do you present yourself as a jammer? How do you think your style is?
My style, I think my style is very like, I guess stoic would be the best like description of it. So just kind of, I don't know, calm and measured and like consistent. And I just keep trying to move and drive. And it's not super fancy. I mean, I sometimes have fancy moves, but I mostly am just, yeah, I think it's like consistent would be my style, I guess.
Yeah, because
Also, I think one other thing
yeah.
too, like sometimes I like to turn to paper, is what we joke about. Is like I like become a cockroach and just like slip through. It's like just like yeah. My goal is to be water.
Yeah, be water.
Hmm.
That's good because you are not so much of like in the lines or apex jumps. I think
Right,
you go with the flow more in a way.
right.
And we have I think the last question, so we
Okay.
don't spend too much time here. What do you think about if roller derby, like it is nowadays with WFTDA rules and everything, if it could be one day in Olympics or if it will? And what do you think would be the requirements for that? If is there a possibility or anything?
I don't know. Well, so I think they did consider it for one of the Olympics already, but then it wasn't accepted, I think. And um, I mean, I think I don't know, like there's some complexity to it because of the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, has specific organizations that they've identified in each country who
Mhm.
oversee Team USA's in those country. And in the United States, that is not that organization does not play WFTDA roller derby.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of yeah, a lot at odds there to like get that to happen. But if all of that could get worked out and we could figure out a way for roller derby to get into the Olympics, I think it'd be amazing. I think it's hard, team sports. If you look around, team sports don't do as well in the Olympics. It's like a lot of
Mm.
the individual sports
Yeah.
are what do really well, and I do think that we people would be confused if it was in the Olympics because it's not a simple game. It
Yeah.
is not a simple game. There is like, people getting whistled at and this person's going this way and that person, like so I think that would be the hardest part would be like how do we get this game to be more understandable to someone who's just watching,
Yeah.
because I think those are the sports that do really well are sports that like somebody can follow easily and be like, yeah, okay, I kind of know what's happening. Even if there's like, other technical fouls in basketball or like offsides in soccer, it's still like the game is moving and you're following it and you generally know what's happening. So
Uh,
I do think that's one challenge with derby is that it's not the rule set is not simple. It is definitely it's complicated.
we would need a lot of education and
Yeah.
it's very complex. Yeah, I know because
Yeah.
even our like relatives, friends, and even when they watch, they are like, why this happen now? What what is going on?
Yeah.
So it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, I think that like especially with the penalties, like people don't understand, like sometimes people can see what the penalty was, but a lot of times, I mean this is true of other sports though. There's yeah, there's a lot more penalizing in derby than in other sports, so I don't know. I think we need to work on how to make that a little bit also easier for the refs to understand. And like,
Yeah.
it's hard to be a ref. There's a lot of, and every sport has a lot of complexity, but I do think that, I don't know, derby has a very special amount of things, yeah, it's just like we need 7 refs to ref our games, and like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's there's got to be a way to make it easier.
Yeah, and it's a lot of studying. I see, like in the forums and everything, people are always debating the rules, the gaps, and everything. So every year there are new things coming up, like what we can and we can't do. So for someone that is outside, it's probably very confusing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it
and once
is.
back in the days we had like ESPN like covering the champs. It was
Yep.
good to spread the word, but I don't know what happened. Do you know what happened? They don't care anymore, or like the pandemic and everything.
Yeah, I'm not I don't know for sure what happened, but um my guess is that it probably, just like a nice thing for them to test out, but maybe it didn't have enough following. I think, like for ESPN to pick something up, they need to show that it's going to make money, because ultimately
Yeah.
that's what they care about. So if it didn't have the viewership that they needed, then they don't care about
Yeah,
us,
for sure. Yeah,
unfortunately.
this is capitalism. We
Yes,
don't have
exactly.
to run.
Right. Which,
Uh,
it's like hard because, like, I think that's part of the best thing about Derby is we haven't ever cared about, like,
yeah,
oh, well, if no one understands our sport, it's our sport. We love it. We play it. But, like, I don't know. What do we want? Where do we want it to go? Do we want it to be on TV? Do we want it to be professional? Do we want it to be in the Olympics? And, like, that's where you have to, like, potentially change some of the things about the sport in order to conform. And it's like, maybe we don't want to do that.
yeah, totally.
So,
We have
yeah.
to evaluate our objectives. So, but we have fun now, and it's very good. Everybody's having a good time.
Yeah.
And talking about that, I hope you have a really, really good time later today. Are you excited for the game? This game, you told me. So for us, it's like in 3 hours, 3 hours and a half.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
3 hours and a half from now, we'll have the Heartless Headers home team from Rose City playing against Fuego Latino. So I hope everyone in the chat could go watch, because it will be very, very fun. Latino team playing against the Rose City home team. So it's be very fun. And thank you very much, Bonnie, for coming here, giving your time for us, and answering all the questions.
Yeah, thank you so much for everybody that came and all your questions. And thank you, Naclara, for all of your hosting abilities. And yeah, come watch or go watch the game. I think it's going to be on the Rose City YouTube.
Yeah, totally. Thank you very much. If you have a message for the Latino players, the Brazilian players that are watching here, send a message for us, please.
Okay, my message to you is that we love you and that I hope to visit you one day, and that I think we're going to keep fighting for you within the WFTDA.
Thank you so much. So I hope you have a great game, and we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, yes,
See
thank
ya.
you.
Bye.